Behind the bright lights and high-intensity matches, WWE's women's division also has a private world filled with surprising stories of love, marriage, and family. Some of them found romance with co-workers backstage, others ended up marrying stars from rival promotions, and a few quietly became stepmoms, taking on more responsibility while still shining in the ring. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the real-life relationships of these familiar queens of WWE and find out who they're dating or married to outside the spotlight. Let's get started right now. Wrestling sphere, go. 1. Alexa Bliss. Very few people would have imagined that WWE's Little Goddess would end up married thanks to The Miz. On the SmackDown debut episode on Fox in October 2019, the A-lister brought his close friend, musician Ryan Cabrera, backstage. What started as a casual, just introducing a buddy meeting quickly turned into something more. Alexa and Ryan chatted a bit and immediately clicked. Same taste in music, same sense of humor, and the more they talked, the more natural it felt. From late-night texts after shows to quiet dates away from the ring, their bond slowly became serious. Ryan began showing up next to Alexa at events, while she became a real source of inspiration for his music and new projects. They never tried to flaunt anything, but anyone paying attention could tell Bliss had truly found her other half. Roughly a year after that first meeting, Ryan decided to propose. The moment felt like a real-life moment of bliss. Not over the top, but full of emotion, enough to move Alexa to tears. After some time preparing, the two held their wedding in April 2022, marking the day Alexa officially became Mrs. Ryan Cabrera. Their next big joy came at the end of 2023, when Alexa Bliss welcomed their first daughter, Hendrix Rouge Cabrera. From a sharp, fiery performer on screen, Alexa has also become a young wife and mom, trying to balance a hectic wrestling schedule with a cozy home full of laughter. Since then, every time Bliss shows up on TV, fans don't just see a WWE superstar. They also see a woman living her career and family life to the fullest. 2. Dana Brooke. If there's one woman in WWE whose boyfriend you absolutely do not want to mess with, it's Dana Brooke. She once dated NBA star Enes Kanter, a basketball wrestling romance that drew plenty of attention on social media. But after the two went their separate ways, Dana's love life took a much tougher turn. The man who stepped into her world is Ulysses Diaz, a Cuban boxer with a fearsome look, a touch and it explodes vibe, but fiercely loyal to those he cares about. Just hearing that description is enough to know he's not the kind of partner people casually joke about. And in reality, someone has already paid the price for trying. In November 2021, Ulysses was arrested after a man repeatedly trolled and provoked him online. Instead of just blocking the account or arguing back and forth, Diaz decided to track down the troll's address and delivered a punch he'd never forget. The story quickly went viral, making it very clear. Playful banter is fine, but pushing your luck with a real fighter is a completely different story. Fortunately, everything was eventually resolved without turning into a full-blown tragedy. After the controversy, Dana Brooke and Ulysses chose to move forward together, treating it as a lesson about the line between joking and disrespect. They kept training side by side, appearing together at events, and their bond only grew stronger. In the end, they got married, turning Dana Brooke and Ulysses Diaz into a couple that's both sweet and radiates one clear message. It's probably best not to mess with them. 3. Izzy Dame. Among WWE's on-screen romance turned real-life couple stories, Izzy Dame is a newer name but one that's getting a lot of buzz. Not many people realize that in real life, Izzy Dame, real name Frankie Streffling, is dating Bronson Rechsteiner, better known to fans as Braun Breaker. This isn't some random rumor either. It's clearly mentioned in the personal life sections of both their bios. On Izzy's side, various profiles state that she is in a relationship with Braun. Meanwhile, bios and features on Braun Breaker updated around 2024 to 2025 also note that he is currently dating Izzy Dame. In other words, this isn't just a case of fans are guessing. The wrestling community already recognizes them as a serious, public couple. Several wrestling news sites even point out a rough timeline. The two started showing up together more often and more openly from late 2024. From photos taken after training sessions, fun little behind-the-scenes clips, to moments where they appear side by side at events, fans gradually got used to seeing Izzy and Braun as a real pair. Over time, articles and social posts stopped talking about them as two separate names and instead called them what they are, a real-life WWE couple. With standout looks, athletic backgrounds, and similarly intense, powerful styles, Izzy Dame and Braun Breaker are seen as one of the most promising young couples of this new generation. They don't just impress in the ring, they also spark curiosity about a love story that's still being written right in the heart of NXT and today's WWE. 4. Ariana Grace. As the daughter of Santino Marella, Ariana Grace not only has wrestling in her blood, she's also writing her own story in NXT, both in her career and in her love life. And in true, real-life WWE storyline fashion, her boyfriend isn't some outsider, but another NXT name. In December 2022, Ariana Grace officially shared that she and Channing "Stacks" Lorenzo were a couple. Before that, the two had already been seen together backstage many times, joking around on social media, but it wasn't until Grace spoke up that fans truly exploded and immediately labeled them as one of the most interesting young couples in NXT. On one side is Santino's daughter, with a classy, almost princess-like vibe but plenty of attitude. On the other is Stacks, with a bit of a gangster look but completely devoted to the woman he loves. That contrast makes their story even more captivating. Their connection didn't stop at cute photos or sweet captions. It moved forward quickly and seriously. They've been by each other's side through injuries, rehab, training, and then back on the grind chasing their NXT dreams. Step by step, Ariana Grace and Channing Lorenzo have shown this is not some quick backstage fling, but something built to last. By December 2024, the couple officially got engaged at the Eiffel Tower in Paris, one of the most romantic backdrops in the world. From a simple, "Yeah, we're together" in 2022, Ariana Grace and Channing "Stacks" Lorenzo are now ready to move into a new chapter, going from boyfriend and girlfriend to future husband and wife, continuing to walk side by side under the NXT spotlight and in everyday life. 5. Stephanie Vaquer. When you talk about WWE's rising women stars, Stephanie Vaquer is definitely a name that stands out, not just because of her hard-hitting in-ring style, but also because of her interesting personal life. Away from the ring, Stephanie is far from the happily single image some fans might picture. In bios updated through 2025, multiple sources clearly state that she's dating Miles Bourne, a young NXT wrestler. This isn't some rumor fans made up, it's information confirmed by the people involved. In a few backstage interviews, Oba Femi has mentioned Miles Bourne as Stephanie's special someone. Miles himself doesn't deny it. He's comfortable talking about how close the two of them are. Because of that, the wrestling community pretty much accepts that between Vaquer and Bourne, this is more than just a co-worker relationship. It's a serious romance happening behind the curtain. Some articles and wrestling news pages even straight up call Miles Bourne Stephanie Vaquer's boyfriend. They note that he's brought her home to meet his family and that they've appeared together at important events outside the ring. Introducing your partner to your loved ones is a clear sign neither side sees this as something short-term. In the ring, Stephanie Vaquer is a cold, relentless warrior. But once the lights go down, she has a steady shoulder to lean on in Miles Bourne, the one who trains with her, shares the pressure, and cheers her on from the crowd. That partnership makes fans even more curious and excited to see how the Vaquer-Bourne love story will continue to be written in the coming years in WWE. 6. Rhea Ripley. If you ask, Rhea Ripley is Dominic Mysterio's mommy on TV, so who's her poppy in real life? The answer is Buddy Matthews, the wrestler currently competing in AEW, who once appeared in WWE under the name Buddy Murphy. On screen, Ripley leans into a love triangle-style storyline with Dominic, but once she steps away from the cameras, her heart belongs to someone completely different. The two started dating in 2020, when Ripley was still cementing her place in WWE and Buddy was on his own path. One is in WWE, the other works for a different company. Their travel schedules are packed, time zones are off, and their work calendars rarely match. Instead of driving them apart, all of that just proves how serious they are about this relationship. Fans constantly catch glimpses of their everyday life together, hitting the gym side by side, posting cool photos that still can't hide how affectionate they are, or simply showing off tattoos, style, and attitude that look like they were made to match. By 2023, after several years together, Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews decided to take things to the next level and got engaged. For someone as strong-willed as Rhea, publicly showing off that ring was basically her way of saying this isn't just a casual romance, it's the future she's chosen. They didn't keep fans waiting long. In June 2024, the couple officially tied the knot, closing the dating chapter and opening a new one as husband and wife. From then on, every time Rhea appears on screen as the intimidating, stone-cold mommy, People remember that behind her is Buddy Matthews, the real-life Poppy, a quiet but crucial presence in the life of this champion. 7. Asuka. While many other female wrestlers are happy to show off their partners and kids on social media, Asuka takes the complete opposite approach. The Empress of Tomorrow has built an almost invisible wall between her career and her private life. She rarely mentions family in interviews and never posts anything related to her personal world. Because of that, her relationship status remains a big mystery to this day. No one knows for sure if she's married, dating someone, or even in any kind of relationship at all. However, one important detail has been revealed: Asuka is a mother. This isn't some random rumor online, but information Becky Lynch shared in an interview with Sports Illustrated. Becky explained that behind the image of a fierce warrior in the ring, Asuka is also juggling real-life motherhood. That made many fans respect her even more, seeing how she keeps performing at an elite level in WWE while quietly taking care of her family without needing to show it off. What's interesting is that even in this rare moment where her private life was mentioned, the number of Asuka's children still wasn't disclosed. No names, no ages, no specific details at all. All the audience truly knows is, Asuka has a child. That's it. That sense of mystery actually fits her character perfectly. A Queen of Tomorrow who appears with masks and colorful entrances, yet still keeps a part of herself that the spotlight can never touch. And maybe, that's exactly how Asuka chooses to protect the people closest to her in a world where everything can be judged and picked apart. 8. Lacey Evans. Unlike many names on this list, Lacey Evans' love story didn't start in a WWE locker room or a gym, but in something much more ordinary: her teenage years. The sassy Southern belle met her husband when she was just 15. At an age when most people are still focused on school and daydreaming about the future, Lacey already had a boyfriend by her side, watching her go from a simple Southern girl to a star in the ring. They started dating in high school and went through all kinds of struggles together. Limited money, unstable jobs, and then the tough period when Lacey joined the Marines, with brutal training and long stretches away from home. During that time, Alfonso Estrella Cadleck, the man who would later become her husband, chose a career in construction, doing hard physical labor but offering stability, giving their family something solid to rely on. He even has an OnlyFans account, a surprising detail if you only judge him by the rugged construction worker look on the outside. After many years together, they decided to make it official and got married in 2010. It wasn't some over-the-top, glamorous wedding, but more like a lifelong promise after everything they had already been through. From then on, Lacey Evans wasn't just a bold, tough wrestler on TV, but also a wife and a mom in a warm, tight-knit family. Today, Lacey and Alfonso have 2 daughters, the biggest motivation for her to keep pushing forward. Every time Lacey walks out with that strong, classy Southern woman persona, there's a long story behind it. A love that began at 15, a husband who stuck by her side through the hardest days, and 2 little girls who are living proof of that journey. 9. Sonya Deville. While many WWE names choose to keep their private lives hidden, Sonya Deville has taken a completely different, and much braver path. She is the first WWE wrestler to openly come out as part of the LGBTQ+ community. Her coming out moment happened right on television, during the casting stage of the reality show Tough Enough in 2015. When asked about her love life, Sonya calmly said she was dating a girl, then laughed and added, "I guess this is my coming out moment. Natural, honest, no drama, but incredibly meaningful." From that point on, Sonya Deville became one of WWE's most visible faces representing gender and sexual diversity. She doesn't just fight in the ring, she also fights for the right to be herself. The image of a strong, sharp, short-haired, badass woman, paired with a story of living her truth, has given a lot of fans, especially those in the LGBTQ+ community, someone they can genuinely relate to. Her love life ended up with a movie-worthy happy ending. In 2023, she got engaged to Tony Cassano, a fitness model with a chiseled physique, warrior-like presence, and a self-given nickname, a real-life Xena warrior princess. The two openly share everyday moments together, training, attending events, and building a real home. By February 2024, Sonya Deville and Tony Cassano were officially married, becoming one of the most prominent lesbian couples associated with WWE. From that TV coming out moment years ago to walking down the aisle hand in hand, Sonya has completed the journey, from daring to say who she is, to proudly living and loving in the open, all in the same strong but sincere way that defines her. 10. Naomi. When it comes to long-lasting love stories in wrestling, the relationship between Naomi and Jimmy Usos definitely deserves family legend status. The two aren't just partners on screen, they're husband and wife in real life. Naomi married Jimmy Usos on January 16, 2014, in a cozy ceremony in Maui, Hawaii. Pure Samoan family vibes, warm, lively, and full of laughter. From the moment she entered this marriage, Naomi didn't just become the wife of one half of the Usos, she also became stepmother to Jimmy's 2 children. She's spoken more than once about how bonding with his kids has been a journey that's both challenging and sweet, where she had to learn to be a friend and emotional support, not just the adult in the house. For years, fans kept wondering when Naomi and Jimmy would have a baby together. The answer finally came on August 18, 2025, when Naomi stood in the middle of the Raw ring, eyes filled with tears, and announced that she was pregnant with their first child. Because of that, she had to step away from the ring and relinquish the WWE Women's World Championship, a decision that was both a proud milestone and a heartbreaking sacrifice. Shortly afterward, Naomi confirmed on social media that the baby is a boy and opened up about how she and Jimmy had been trying to have a child for many years. From moments of hope followed by disappointment, to the instant that pregnancy test finally showed 2 lines, everything made her public announcement even more emotional. For Naomi, this isn't just a family milestone. It's the most beautiful victory after years of fighting in the ring while also fighting for her own happiness. 11. Lana. On any list of wrestling couples with drama worthy of a TV series, Lana and Rusev/Miro absolutely need their own spot. The two married in 2016 and were once seen as a true power couple, both on WWE television and in real life. But no love story is without storms, and theirs was anything but mild. In the winter of 2023, their relationship hit a deep freeze. Lana and Miro separated, living apart and no longer appearing together as often as before. By 2024, things seemed to be over for good when Miro officially filed for divorce. At that point, many fans believed the Lana-Rusev chapter had closed forever. But just like a wrestling storyline always sneaks in a plot twist, their real lives did too. From mid to late 2024, Lana and Miro slowly started reconnecting, talking more, trying to untangle the issues that had pushed them apart. The cold silence turned into honest conversations, and then gradually into rare but meaningful warm moments. In the end, Miro withdrew the divorce papers and chose to stay, willing to give their marriage another chance. By March 2025, they decided to reset their marriage in the most literal way, renewing their wedding vows and officially declaring that they were back together, not just on paper but in their hearts. In November 2025, Lana appeared in an interview and said their relationship is better than ever. She also revealed that they're going through IVF and have successfully conceived their first child. After all the drama, what they've held on to isn't just the title of husband and wife, but the chance to start over and build a real family from the ground up. 12. Roxanne Perez. Among WWE's standout young women, Roxanne Perez doesn't just impress with her speed, technique, and golden girl of NXT energy. Her love life also makes fans curious. And in true, everything in the WWE universe is connected fashion. The person she's dating is also part of the company's developmental system. Roxanne's boyfriend is Drake Morose, a wrestler on NXT Level Up. Instead of loudly flaunting their romance in the media, the two have chosen to keep things relatively low-key. Small interactions on social media and the occasional moment fans happen to catch backstage. That mystery only made people wonder more. Are they just close friends, or is he really her other half? The answer became clear at the end of 2024. During the Christmas season, Roxanne Perez posted a warm photo by the Christmas tree, standing next to none other than Drake Morose. No long caption, no dramatic announcement, but the way she comfortably hugged and leaned into Drake said more than any official statement. That picture was basically a soft launch that confirmed everything. Roxanne and Drake are a couple. Since then, fans have gradually gotten used to seeing them as a true NXT homegrown pair, training together, chasing the WWE dream side by side, and sharing everyday moments whenever their schedules allow. In such a competitive environment, the fact that Roxanne Perez has found a boyfriend who shares her passion and path in Drake Morose makes her journey toward becoming a major star feel even more complete and exciting to follow. 13. Nikki Cross. Among WWE's many on-screen romance-turned-real-life stories, Nikki Cross has one of the most unique. On TV she's wild and chaotic, But behind the scenes her love life is surprisingly warm and grounded. Nikki didn't just marry a former WWE wrestler. She married someone who once stood right beside her on television. When she first joined WWE, Nikki Cross was placed in Sanity, a faction built around organized chaos, with a crazed, violent aura, always looking like they just walked out of a nightmare. Sometime later, the group added a new member, Killian Dane, a massive, long-bearded powerhouse with an intimidating presence. To fans, he was just another piece of the Sanity puzzle. To Nikki, he was something else entirely, her boyfriend. What makes it even more interesting is that Nikki Cross and Killian Dane had already been dating before they ever shared a WWE stage. On TV, they were part of a brutal, unhinged faction. Off-screen, they were just two regular people sharing simple meals, trips together, and quiet moments comforting each other after grueling matches. They stuck by each other through every phase of their careers, from the struggling early days to finally earning more recognition. Their relationship wasn't crushed by insane travel schedules or the pressure of the business. If anything, working in the same harsh environment made them understand each other even better. After years together, in 2019 Nikki Cross and Killian Dane finally tied the knot, going from on-screen teammates to husband and wife in real life. Ever since, whenever fans see Nikki bring that familiar, crazy energy to the ring, they also know that behind the character is a woman with a rock-solid support system. A husband who walked with her through some of the hardest years of her life. 14. Mia Yim. For Mia Yim, love and wrestling have been intertwined since the days when she was still fighting to make a name for herself. Her husband isn't an outsider to the business. He's a towering figure every fan knows well, Keith Lee. He's currently wrestling for AEW, WWE's direct competitor, but that hasn't stopped the two of them from building a strong life together away from the ring. Mia and Keith started to truly connect after working the same independent shows and later sharing time in WWE. Both of them have gone through injuries, depression, and stretches where their careers seemed to be slipping away, so it was easy for them to understand each other's struggles. What began as a bond between co-workers and friends who shared their hardships slowly turned into something deeper. Fans began noticing them together more and more, in training rooms, backstage, and at events. After a few years as a couple, they decided to make it official and got married in February 2022. The wedding wasn't over the top or extravagant, but just watching the way they held hands and looked at each other, you could tell this was a pair who had survived a lot of storms to be standing there that day. For now, Mia Yim and Keith Lee don't have children, and they've openly said they're enjoying their time as newlyweds, focusing on their careers and health first. Even though they work for different companies, with constant travel and clashing schedules, they try to keep one thing steady: being each other's emotional anchor. That way, every time one of them steps into the ring, they know there's someone waiting in the background, supporting and believing in them. 15. Carmella. Among WWE's women's roster, Carmella's love story is one of the most emotional and layered. In 2019, she began dating WWE commentator Corey Graves. What started as fun, flirty interactions on TV gradually grew into something real as they moved beyond the roles of co-workers and became an actual couple. Their contrasting personalities, Graves being more seasoned and calm, Carmella being energetic and vibrant, ended up fitting together perfectly. In April 2022, they officially tied the knot in a wedding filled with smiles and laughter. The familiar princess of Staten Island, that fans knew from TV, was now also a wife and stepmother to Corey's 3 children from his previous marriage. Carmella has openly shared how she's had to learn to balance a busy schedule with her new role in the family, and that process has made her life feel more mature and meaningful. But happiness doesn't always come without pain. In October 2022, Carmella tearfully revealed she had suffered a miscarriage, a huge shock both physically and emotionally. Even so, she refused to let it break her. By May 2023, Carmella and Graves announced that they were once again expecting a baby. They later welcomed their first son together, Dimitri Paul. Then in 2025, their family grew again with the arrival of their second son, Bram Julian, turning their home into a busier and even more complete little world. After leaving WWE, Carmella has spent more time focusing on her family, on women's health, and on her own business project called Snatch. From a glamorous in-ring performer, she's gradually become the picture of a modern woman. Someone who loves herself, cherishes her family, and isn't afraid to start a brand new chapter beyond the squared circle. 16. Bianca Belair. The EST of WWE isn't just unmatched in the ring. She also has a love story that makes fans smile every time it's mentioned. Bianca Belair met Montez Ford at the WWE Performance Center, and from those shared training sessions, the two slowly became inseparable. After some time getting to know each other, Ford got down on one knee and proposed, and in 2018 they officially tied the knot, starting a new chapter that's both romantic and heartwarming for them both. When she married Montez Ford, Bianca didn't just become the wife of one half of the Street Profits, she also took on another important role, stepmother. She stepped into the lives of Montez's two children with respect and genuine affection, gradually becoming an emotional anchor for them. Everyday moments, from family trips and dinners to behind-the-scenes vlogs, show a small household filled with laughter and warmth. Bianca and Montez often appear together on shows, in interviews, reality programs, and across social media, always radiating positivity and an unmistakable chemistry. The mix of a powerhouse queen and a fun, supportive husband has turned them into one of WWE's most lovable and standout power couples today, where both love and career shine side by side. 17. Zelina Vega. Among WWE women who fell in love with someone working for a rival company, Zelina Vega's story is often brought up as a romance that feels modern yet still very pro-wrestling. Her partner is Malachi Black, who once wrestled in WWE under the name Aleister Black. Instead of starting with a backstage introduction or a chance meeting at the gym, everything began with a simple message when Black slid into Zelina's DMs on social media. From those early conversations, they gradually discovered how much they connected in personality, interests, and a lifestyle that's already very different from most people's. Their bond quietly grew away from the spotlight until 2018, when they decided to get married and officially become husband and wife. Even though they've worked for different companies, they've always shown respect and support for each other's careers, making sure business doesn't interfere with their private life. Fans often see them together in casual moments, photos on social media, brief appearances in vlogs, always giving off a sense of closeness and genuine connection. When asked about having children, both Zelina and Black simply admit that it's something they've thought about, then gracefully keep the rest to themselves. Instead of oversharing, they choose to enjoy the present, continuing to build their home at a pace that feels right for both of them, letting their love mature naturally over time. 18. Alba Fyre. Before stepping into WWE as Alba Fyre, she was already a legend on the independent scene under the name Kay Lee Ray. But beyond her impressive career, she also has another kind of championship in real life, a love story that has lasted more than a decade with fellow wrestler Stevie Boy Xavier. The two first got together when they were still working small shows, traveling from venue to venue across Europe, sharing long trips, injuries, and even moments when both of them felt like walking away. After 13 years together, countless tours, title wins, and stretches where they had to be apart because of separate schedules, they finally sealed the deal with a wedding in 2021. It wasn't just the marriage of two wrestlers. It was the perfect ending to a long, steady journey, where they had been co-workers, partners, and soulmates all at once. Stevie Boy Xavier is a familiar face on the European independent scene, especially known for his time in Insane Championship Wrestling, ICW. While Alba Fyre has continued to rise on WWE stage, Stevie Boy has kept grinding on other platforms, but they've always backed each other's paths. When you listen to the way they talk about one another in interviews, it's easy to feel that this isn't just another wrestling couple. It's two people who grew up together, weathered every storm, and built a true home side by side. 19. Emma. Among the sweet love stories that blossomed behind the scenes in WWE, the relationship between Emma and Riddick Moss is one of the most talked about by fans. The Australian star and the powerhouse once known as Madcap Moss went public with their relationship in August 2022, not long before Emma officially returned to WWE. From then on, they were seen together more and more, on red carpets, backstage, and in everyday moments shared on social media, always giving off a relaxed, down-to-earth vibe. By June 2023, Riddick Moss decided to take things to the next level and got down on one knee to propose to Emma. The proposal itself was kept fairly private, but from the few photos they shared, you could see how emotional they both were, as if every step of their journey had led them to that moment. Not long after, on March 8, 2024, Emma and Moss held an intimate wedding in Hawaii. The blue ocean, golden sunlight, and romantic atmosphere turned their big day into a memory they'll never forget. Their happiness grew even more in March 2025, when Emma gave birth to their first son, Leo Austin Rallis. From a strong-willed, stylish wrestler in the ring, she has also become a proud wife and mother, building a cozy little home with a partner who once shared the spotlight with her under the WWE lights. 20. Scarlett. For anyone who follows WWE regularly, the fact that Scarlett is taken is hardly surprising. She's almost always at Karrion Kross' side on screen, from eerie promos and haunting entrance music to leading him out to the ring. They're not just a perfectly matched act for television. They're a real-life married couple who have been together since their days working outside WWE. Scarlett and Kross began dating in 2018, at a time when both were crafting their mysterious, cold, intimidating personas in the ring. When they joined forces, they created a very distinct kind of energy. Kross as the destructive force, and Scarlett as the seductive, dangerous sorceress, who whispers, guides, and amplifies his aura every time they walk through the smoke toward the ring. That chemistry doesn't just come from a script. It comes from years of traveling together, sharing the same schedule, goals, and pressures. In April 2022, after a long time side by side, they decided to make it official and got married. Notably, their wedding took place right before the two of them returned to WWE, almost like a milestone marking a new chapter in both their careers and their lives. Since then, every time Scarlett takes Kross by the hand and walks him to the ring, the crowd isn't just seeing a TV act. They're looking at two people who chose to keep moving forward together, in the business and far beyond it. Which love story of these WWE women impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe to Wrestling Sphere, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos about the real-life backstage world of WWE superstars.